Hello and welcome to StratNewsGlobal. A quarter century ago, a conflict in the distant horizon, which was Kargil, Dras and Batalik, came into our drawing rooms. It was the first televised war of this generation, or even before television became a household gadget for everyone in India. That was the Kargil war that Pakistan had initiated in the summer of 1999. How was it to report that war, and how was it to fight really? We thought, me as a reporter who had the privilege and the honor to be on the battlefront for 45 days in the summer of 1999 for Outlook magazine, should go back and revisit the places and recall some of those events and some of those heroic battles. But me alone saying that wouldn't have been sufficient. So we hit upon an idea to take some of the key players, some of the key officers who had led some of the bloodiest battles in the icy heights of Dras, Kargil and Batalik in the battlefront that time, back there to recount and recollect what memories they had from that place, how they fought it, how they planned it, and what they could do as far as getting back the land which was intruded upon by the Pakistanis. This is the story of the Kargil battle, which is just coming to you as a glimpse of what we are going to finally offer to you on July 25th as a documentary revisiting Kargil a quarter century later, me and the veterans. In this week's episode of Simply Nitin, I'm just going to give you a glimpse of how we travelled back to the area, once from Srinagar with 2 or 3 veterans, once from Leh back to Dras, and then taking them to the areas where they actually had to fight physically with the enemy, that is the Pakistani army and their soldiers, and win back a very famous battle. It was full of pathos, it was full of bravery, it was full of achievements, it was also full of loss, a sense of loss that everyone felt. So do take a look at this episode, which is just a trailer to something that we are going to do over the next 1 month, starting from 22nd of June, where you will hear veterans in detail of what they have done. And of course, you will also see a full documentary, which I am writing right now. The script is being written and everything is being put together. So do watch this special episode on StratNewsGlobal. I am Nitin Gokhale. So on a mildly sunny day, we start our journey from Srinagar to the areas of Dras, Batalik, Kargil to start filming this documentary, Kargil Then and Now, 25 years later. We are on the road to Dras and just about to reach the Zozila Pass when we heard the news that there has been some snowslide and one bulldozer has gone under that snowslide. So the military and the Border Roads Organization people have gone ahead to check whether the road is open or not. Imagine 25 years ago when Kargil war took place, around the same time when forces were moving up from the Kashmir Valley going into the Dras area and Kargil and Batalik area, what would have been the condition of this road? I remember trucks after trucks and a huge snaking convoy making its way up the Zozila with great difficulty and of course halting all along the way. So those were the conditions. They have changed for the better, but certainly not ideal. And in fact, it can never become ideal given the force of the nature. The snow here is heavy, and snow slides are now common when there is harsh sunlight. This is what happens. If you come early morning and want to cross this road, there is a sleet of snow where the cars cannot drive properly. If you brake hard, cars will slip and maybe slide, and therefore you have to time your travel through Zojila in the winter months and in its aftermath with perfection. We are still stuck here. We don't know for how long. Fingers crossed whether we'll get to Dras this evening or not. But certainly, this is one of the challenges of the terrain and of the weather in this sector. In the first trip, 3 veterans who had 3 different roles joined me in the journey. Major General Suresh Mohanty, who was then in 1999 a major and who played a crucial role in coordinating the various battalions and their movements and their plans at Dras in those months, was the first to share his experience. Dras has understandably changed in the quarter century since the war. It used to be a sleepy, small little village. It is now a busy midway point between Srinagar and Leh, has better roads and network connectivity. And the main attraction for tourists passing either way is the Kargil War Memorial located at the base of the famous Tololing Peak. Next up was the duo of Brigadiers Devinder Singh and Amul Astana, and our destination was the Batalik sector. Brigadier Devinder Singh was the commander of the 70 Brigade, which fought in the most difficult terrain of Khalubar, Kukarthang and Yaldor. There were no roads back then. But 25 years later, we could travel right up to the line of control in this sector. Brigadier Astana could therefore recount the story of Captain Manoj Pandey, who won a Paramveer Chakra for his bravery in this sector at the very location where he fought. Getting to Batalik is now much easier. And even the tough Hambutingla or Hambutinga Pass is a tourist attraction thanks to the stellar work done by the Border Roads Organization.
Uh, 62049 to Leh. Flight time today will be just over an hour, initially covering approximately 600 kilometers. We're fully ready about to push back and start shortly, so I hope you will settle down. Please do so at the earliest and sit back, relax and enjoy the flight.
In the second trip, we opted to land at Leh and travel down to Dras. This time with 3 more stalwarts. Lieutenant General Y.K. Joshi, who was the commanding officer of the 13 Jammu and Kashmir Rifles that time as a Lieutenant Colonel. Brigadier Kushal Thakur, whose Paltan 18 Grenadiers won Tololing and Tiger Hill back for India, and Major General, that time Colonel Alok Dev, a gunner, who recounted how the artillery contributed to India's famous win. Thanks to excellent synergy between the infantry and the artillery at that time, India managed to push back the intruders in about 2 months. But that was not all. We also managed to get Lieutenant General Mohinder Puri into our studio to explain how the battle was planned and won. As a Major General that time, he had led the 8th Mountain Division very successfully to achieve the final victory. This is just a glimpse of how we went about shooting and wrapping the recall of those 45 days I had spent in the summer of 1999, and how these veterans had fought there, planned the battles, and what sense of loss they felt during those battles. From next Saturday, do listen to the interviews with these veterans who recount in great detail the tragedy and triumph that was Kargil, from the very locations where they evicted the intruding Pakistanis 25 summers ago. Don't miss this series.